I found out by accident because of one stupid, unfinished text message. It was a Sunday morning, the kind where nothing is supposed to happen. I'd left my phone on the kitchen counter and grabbed my wife Emily's by mistake. Same case, same cracked corner. I didn't even realize it until her phone buzzed in my hand. A message preview flashed across the screen. We need to talk before he finds out. I can't keep doing this. L. My brother-in-law Liam. At first I laughed under my breath. It had to be about my sister, right? Maybe they were arguing again. They always argued. But then Emily walked into the kitchen and saw the phone in my hand. Her reaction wasn't casual. She froze like her whole body locked up. Hey, I said, smiling without realizing I was trying too hard. Your phone buzzed. Something from Liam. Her eyes darted to the screen then back to me too fast. Oh, probably something about the house repairs. He's been asking me about contractors. Contractors. That one word sank in my stomach like a stone. Not because it was suspicious by itself, it wasn't, but because she said it too quickly. Too neatly. And her voice had that thin, stretched tone like she was forcing normal. She took the phone from me gently, holding it almost protectively. Then she turned away as she unlocked it. And that's when the feeling began. Not a certainty but an itch under the skin. A shift in the air. Something wrong. Something I didn't want to name. At first I told myself I was being paranoid. Married for 8 years. Solid. Steady. We'd survived job changes, money stress, medical scares. Never once had cheating crossed my mind. But that morning a crack opened, and I couldn't unsee it. Over the next week things felt off. Nothing huge. Just small odd pieces that didn't fit right. Emily started taking her phone everywhere. And I mean everywhere, bathroom, laundry room, even outside to check the mail. She angled the screen away from me when she typed. She started getting dressed extra nice before going out, to help my sister with the kids. And whenever I walked into the room, she'd tuck her hair behind her ear like she'd been flustered. Little things. Almost nothing. But not nothing. One night I asked casually, "You and Liam talk much these days?" She froze for only a second, but I noticed it. Not really. Why? Just saw that text. Thought maybe he needed help with something. She shrugged. No, nothing like that. But her shrug wasn't casual. It was tight. Defensive. That was when the self-blame began. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe work stress is making me see ghosts. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. I didn't want to believe my wife was lying to me. I didn't want to think she could. But suspicion, once it's born, grows teeth. The moment everything cracked open came almost 2 weeks later. My sister Megan called me. Now Megan and I aren't the closest, but we talk enough. Her voice sounded tired, brittle in a way I didn't recognize. Hey, she said. Is Emily around? No, she's out meeting a friend, I said. Why? Something wrong. There was silence. Too long. Then she said quietly, Jake, we need to talk. But not right now. I'm not ready. A cold pressure squeezed my chest. Megan, what's going on? Another silence. Then she exhaled shakily. I just need a little more time, she whispered. Please. My hands were sweating. My heart sped up. Is this about Liam? She didn't answer. Megan. Her voice broke barely, but I heard it. Just don't ask him anything yet. And then she hung up. I stared at the blank screen, pulse thumping in my ears. Something was wrong. Something big. Something she couldn't even say out loud. The truth came at me sideways because I couldn't let it go. Because everything in me screamed that something was happening behind my back. 3 days later, Emily said she was heading to Megan's house to watch the kids. Something that never required makeup, perfume, and a new blouse. She rushed out quicker than usual, barely looking at me. After she left, I sat on the couch for almost 10 minutes, staring at the door, my mind spiraling. Then something in me snapped. I grabbed my keys and followed my instinct. It led me to a neighborhood 20 minutes away. Not Megan's. I recognized the area. Liam's friend owned a small rental property out here. I'd helped him move furniture into it last summer. Why was she here? Why was she parked there? Her car sat tucked along the curb in front of the rental house. That was when my hands started trembling. I couldn't breathe right. I felt like I was standing outside myself, watching. I walked toward the house slowly, as if forcing my legs through water. Each step felt heavier. My heart pounded so hard my ribs hurt. When I reached the window, just a sliver uncovered by the curtain, I looked inside. And the world dropped out from under me. There she was. Emily, my wife, sitting on the couch. Her hand in Liam's. Not some friendly gesture. Not innocent. Their fingers were intertwined. His other hand cupped the side of her face. And she leaned into it. They were talking softly, foreheads nearly touching, like they were the only people in the universe. I didn't hear the words. I didn't need to. My throat tightened. I felt sick, physically sick, like I might throw up. My hands shook so violently I had to press them against the side of the house. I stepped back, stumbling. I don't remember getting to my car. I don't remember driving. I only remember parking in some random lot, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. And then finally I cried. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just silent, shaking tears that wouldn't stop. Because the two people I trusted most had cut me open without a knife. 2 hours later, my sister called me again. I didn't answer. She called again. Still, I couldn't bring myself to pick up. Then she texted. Please tell me you found out from me. Not some other way. Not some other way. I stared at that message for a long time before replying. I saw them. She called instantly. I answered this time. Her voice cracked the second I said hello. Oh God. Jake, she whispered. I wanted to tell you. I swear I did. How long? I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. How long have you known? Silence. Then a sob she tried to swallow. 3 months. 3 months. I felt something inside me shrivel. Megan. Why didn't you tell me? Because I thought it would stop, she cried. I begged Emily. I confronted Liam. They swore it was over. They promised me. I clenched my jaw until it hurt. So you let me stay in the dark. I'm sorry, she whispered, crying harder. But I couldn't break our family apart. And I thought, God, Jake, I thought they meant it when they said they were done. I thought if I stayed quiet, maybe it would just die off. I laughed short, sharp, bitter. It didn't. No, she whispered. It didn't. When Emily came home that night, her hair slightly messy, cheeks flushed, she tried to kiss me on the cheek like nothing was wrong. I stepped back. Her smile faltered. Jake? What's wrong? I stared at her. Really stared. The woman I loved. The woman I married. The woman who'd once cried happy tears on our wedding day. I know, I said. Her face drained of color instantly. Know what? I saw you, I said quietly. With him. Her breath caught. She looked down, then up, then down again, her hands trembling. Jake, please. Don't, I said. Don't lie. Not now. She broke. The tears came fast. Not subtle, not manipulative. Real. Panicked. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered, covering her mouth. I swear to God it wasn't supposed to happen. I felt my throat tighten. Then why did it? She sank onto the couch as if her legs gave out. Because I was lonely. Because we were drifting. Because I felt invisible. Because he was there. Because I was stupid. Pick one. They're all true. Her words sliced me open. You could have talked to me, I said, voice raw. I tried, she said through tears. But you were exhausted all the time. Working late. Stressed. I didn't want to add more pressure. Liam just listened. I closed my eyes, every muscle in my body tight. So you started sleeping with him. She covered her face. It wasn't just sex, she whispered. And that's the worst part. I got attached. The room spun. I sank into the chair opposite her because my legs couldn't hold me anymore. Did you ever plan to tell me? I asked. She shook her head miserably. I was going to end it. I told him today that we had to stop. For good. That matched the text I'd seen. It didn't make it hurt any less. Do you love him? I forced out. A pause. A long, destroying pause. I don't know, she whispered. But I still love you. I never stopped loving you. I let out a painful breath. You don't cheat on someone you love. She flinched. I know. And I hate myself for it. We sat there, two broken people staring at something they'd shattered together. I didn't scream. I didn't break anything. What broke was inside me. Quietly. Irreversibly. I'm leaving tonight, I said finally. Her head snapped up. Please don't, Jake, please, we can fix this. We can go to counseling. I'll cut him off. I'll do anything. I shook my head. I deserve more than someone who chose someone else while still claiming to love me. Her face crumpled. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I nodded. And that was the end. Not dramatic. Not loud. Just a tired, painful nod. I packed a bag. Walked past her. Heard her sobbing into her hands. And I left. It's been 7 months now. Healing isn't linear. Some days I feel steady. Other days a random memory hits me. Her laugh, her hand in mine. And it feels like someone's twisting something sharp inside my chest. But I'm learning to breathe again. To sleep without waking up in a cold sweat. To understand that her choices were never a reflection of my worth. I'm learning that loving someone deeply doesn't mean losing yourself in the process. And sometimes, closure isn't a grand revelation or forgiveness. Sometimes it's a quiet moment. Standing alone in your new apartment. Filling a shelf with things that are finally yours again. And realizing you survived. And you're rebuilding piece by piece. Not because they were honest. Not because they apologized. But because you chose yourself after everything. And that choice finally feels like freedom.